Good morning students. In this video I am going to explain about implicit objects in JSP. First in this video first we will see the definition, what do you mean by implicit objects, and then what are the 9 implicit objects available in JSP. What do you mean by implicit objects? And they are created using a translation phase of JSP. Okay, and it is created by web container. These implicit objects are created by the web container and are available to all the JSP pages. These are the predefined objects and the user can use it. Okay. There are 9 implicit objects are available. One is out, request, response, config, application, session, page, context page, and exception. So what do you mean by this implicit objects? They are created by the web container and they are available to all the web pages. First one, out implicit objects. Out implicit objects, it allows to access a servlet output stream. For example, what is the uses? It is used to send that output to the client. The output which needs to be sent to the client is passed through this object. Okay. If you want to send any output to the client browser, if you want to print any content in the client browser, you can use this object. Okay. Here also, what are the commands available are void print line, new line, clear buffer, flush is auto flush, and get buffer size, and then get remaining. Void print, this from the name itself we can understand. Void print, it is used to print any commands in that browser. Example is out.print. In double quotation you can write whatever the content you want to write in that browser. Out.print, any sentence you can write, and then out.print line, it is similar to that print command, only different is it print line adds a new line character at the end. You can write, whether you can write out.print line or out.print also you can write. Okay, then new line, you are familiar with that. Out.new line is used to add new line in between print commands or whatever content. And then clear buffer, it is same like clear method, it is used to flush the buffer. Okay, if we already used clear command, it shows an exception. Okay, so clear buffer is used to flush that buffer, and then void flush, clear, void flush, both are all are moreover same, all are used to flush or clear that buffer. Okay, and then auto flush, it returns whether true or false. It is used to check whether the buffer is automatically flushed or not. And then if you want to get the buffer size, we can use get buffer size method. Get remaining, it will return the number of bytes remaining in that buffer. These are the examples for that out objects. Out implicit object example, we know what are the commands we are using is print line, etc. So by using this out.print line, so these are used to display the sentences in that browser. Next one, request implicit objects. It is of type HTTP servlet request. It is created for each JSP request by the web container. So all these implicit objects are created by that web container. They are predefined objects and users can use these objects. Okay, whenever we want to give request from that any design page, from the form we can use this. We want to display like for that only we are using this object. So it is created for each JSP request by the web container. For each request we are use this HTTP servlet request, and it is used to get the information such as by using this request we are getting the information like parameter, header information, and then server name, whatever you want you can get related information. And it is also used to set, get and remove attributes from the JSP request scope. We will see the example now. See, this is index.html. Actually, when you are creating a project, no, already I explained in the first class itself how you can create any JSP file. Means first you have where you have to go. First you have to create a new project, no. While creating a web new projects itself, you will get index.html. Okay, that is a design page. Like in a HTML how you are creating a design, same like this here also you have to create. And then you have to go to a web page, you right click and then click on new JSP. No, that JSP file you are writing that JSP coding, and in that index.html here you are creating a using HTML commands. You are creating on design. You know that what is a design, like a text box, like a input form you are creating. So in that input form, first what you have to write is input what you want to give. For example, in this program is given username is an input. So here we are specifying input type equal to text box we are going to enter username, and then we are going to give a submit button. So this and all HTML commands I think you are familiar with that. So input type equal to text name equal to username, and then type equal to submit, then click and then click on go. And then welcome.jsp, here this is the request.get parameter is one of the implicit objects. So string name equal to request.get parameter username, where this username is available. See in the previous slide, that is in this index.html, what is the input you are giving to the text box, that is requested here. That's only given request.get parameter username, and then that print welcome that name. So what will be print? Welcome. What username you are giving in that text box, that will be displayed. Okay, so this is explained here. This is the output given in the browser. First screen, if you run this program, a text box will be blinking. So inside you have to write any name and then click on go. This is a design what we have made in this index.html. And then here what it will display, welcome, what is the name you are given in text box. Okay, so that name will be displayed. And then response implicit objects, it is a type of HTTP servlet response. It is created, it is also here whatever objects, everything is created by that container. For each request there will be a response will be there. So it can be used to add or manipulate the response, such as response it may be, for example, we can give redirect response to another resource. Okay, or any error message, whatever it is. So it is an implicit object of type HTTP servlet response. Here also design pages, here wherever I am explaining index.html, that is the design page. Okay, and then one more page is given here, welcome.jsp. Two files are there. One is index.html, that is a design page, and then welcome.jsp, that is a response. In response, what is written? Response.send redirect equal to some other website name. That is what is given here, google.com. So when you run this program, in that index.html, action equal to what is given, welcome.jsp. So the control will go to welcome.jsp. In that what is given, response.send redirect. So when you run this, it will be redirect to google.com. After you giving the input, it is redirect to google.com. That is the response example. And then configuration. In JSP, it is an implicit object of type servlet config. It can be used to get initialization parameter for a particular JSP page. It is also created by the web container for each JSP page. If we want to get the initialization parameter for a particular JSP page, we are using this config, this object. Example, index.html. This is a text box and then submit button. Then see here, this XML file what we are using, servlet name we are writing, and then what is the JSP file we are calling here, welcome.jsp, and parameter name we are specifying here. Okay, parameter name equal to, see this web.xml, listen carefully. What we are writing, servlet name, these are the parameters. Servlet name equal to some other name, sono, the like that some name given, and then what is the JSP file we are calling, welcome.jsp, and then what is the parameter name equal to d name, and then parameter value, d name, that is the variable name, parameter name, and then that parameter value equal to sun.jdbc.odbc. The driver name. Okay, here we are declaring this parameter, you can get through that by using this object, init object. Okay, and then mapping also we have to do. Mapping means servlet name with, we have to specify, and then URL pattern equal to welcome. So everything you have to write here in welcome.xml, you are writing the server name and it is mapped with that welcome.jsp. Parameter name also we are specifying. Okay, and then here welcome.jsp, what we are displaying, this name we are called here /welcome.jsp. Okay, so what we are writing in welcome.jsp, out.print welcome plus records.get parameter username. You know this meaning, no? Get parameter username means what you are giving in the text box, that is displayed username. Welcome, whatever name you are giving, and then driver equal to get initialization parameter d name. What do you mean by this initialization parameter d name? D name we are declared here, no? See here, D name means parameter name only, D name. Okay, D name. D name, that's a variable name, and what is it value? sun.jdbc.odbc, no? That name will be displayed. Get initialization parameter D name, that only in that second window it's given. That is get parameter and then print that value. Okay, so driver, what we are getting, that d name value we are getting, where that d name is available, we already assign that value in that previous program, no? That will be displayed. Okay, and then application implicit object, it is of type servlet context. Application is an implicit object of type servlet context. It is created only once by the web container. Okay, it can be used to get initialization parameter from web.xml. It is used to get, set or remove attribute from the application scope. From that application, if you want to get, set or remove attribute, we can use this. Okay, so in the name itself you can understand, JSP application implicit objects means what? This object is used to get, set or remove attribute from the application scope. Okay, here this is a design page, and then web XML is given here also. What is the difference, students? Here here we are writing web application. See, in the web XML we are writing web app. See, ending tag also web application we are writing, and then inside that we are writing servlet name, and then parameter value, everything is same, like previous example. Here we are writing web application we are writing. Okay, here also we are getting that parameter value, everything is declared, and we are accessing out.print welcome.request, and then see here syntax, driver equal to application dot get init parameter. Okay, that is the syntax only different. it is in the case of application context. Okay, application dot get init parameter d name. This variable or we are already declared that we are retrieving by using that object application dot get init parameter d name. Okay, then session implicit object. Session means, what do you mean by session? In case of browsing, it is a time limit when the user is start searching and stop searching. No, the time limit called as a session. So it is an implicit object of type HTTP session. So Java developer can use this object in order to get, set or remove attributes, or to get the session information. If you want to get the session related informations, then we can use the session implicit objects. Consider this is a design page in this whole video. This is a design we are using on text box and then submit button. And see that explanation here, your name equal to records dot get parameter username, and we are printing that, and then session dot set attribute equal to name. Attribute value, that user value equal to what is the name we are giving in the text box, that name. And here we are one more reference we are giving, h reference equal to second.jsp. If you click the second.jsp, here we are simply getting one text box. In that session what we are doing, that only displayed, nothing else, and we are calling here second.jsp. When you click on this second.jsp, that page will be called. So session details we are getting. How we are getting? Session dot get attribute user. Already we gave the username. No, that session details are retrieved by using this session dot get attribute user. So out dot print name means that session what we gave, no, that name will be displayed here. See in this example, first is a design page, we are giving username, then welcome that username, then we call the second JSP. No, so if we click this, it will call that second JSP. Okay, and it will print that session username. Next page context implicit objects. It is an implicit objects of type page context class. It can be used to set, get or remove attributes from one of the following scopes. Page context means page related detail or request or session or application. In whatever scope it is, in every scope it is used to get the attributes. It may be a page context or request or session or application, whatever may be the context. By using these objects, page context implicit object, we can retrieve that attributes. The design page, and then here we are writing string name equal to request dot get parameter username, and then page context dot set attribute user name comma page context dot session scope is given here. Page contact, this is the object we are using, and the reference is the second JSP page. In the second JSP page, what is given? Page context dot get attribute page context dot session scope and name is displayed. So like session, what we did in session, what we did is session dot set attribute we wrote, and then session dot get attribute. It is also same like this. Page context, instead of session we are writing here page context dot set attribute and page context dot display. Okay, and then page implicit objects. Here object of type class, it is used to assign to the reference of auto generated servlet class. Here page is written as this, object page equal to this. If you want to refer this, you can refer that particular page, you can use this dot log, any message you want to give you can give. So page implicit objects, it is an object of type object class. and it is referred to as this. Okay, for using this object we have to declare like this dot log any message you can give in the quotation, and then exception implicit objects. In general, from the name itself you can understand if you want to give any error messages. Exception means if there is any errors happening in the JSP page while compiling, then that is achieved. Exception handling, that is achieved using this objects in JSP. It is an implicit object of type java.language, that is a throwable class. It can be used to print any exceptions or any errors happened in a JSP page. The syntax is, then which one is called? See this in the directive, we already saw the syntax and all. So first statement, at means it's a directive tag, no? So at page is error equal to true, so it will call an exception. Okay, wherever there's a error occurs, then the directive says it is error page equal to true means what is the meaning? It will call the corresponding error messages. Okay, so sorry, following exception occurred like this, error message will be displayed. It is an important question. How will you handle exception in JSP? It's a separate topic. Okay, we will see in detail now the slides. Exception means it is throwable at runtime. It is a process to handle runtime errors. There may occur exception at any time in your web applications, no? So in order to handle exceptions in a safe side for the web developer, there are two ways to perform the exception handling: is error page or is error page or page directive. Okay, here index dot here I am going to explain by using this three files. One is a design file, that is index.jsp, getting some numbers, and then process.jsp, it is processing that files. That processing means it's some of the that inputs we are getting, no? That's a calculation we are doing in this process.jsp. Then error for handling of errors in index.jsp. Here this is a design page, two text boxes and one button is given. So in order to get two numbers, and then process.jsp request.get parameter n1, number 2 equal to request.get parameter n2. These are that we are getting these two numbers from the design page. In text boxes what you are giving input, no, that is retrieved and stored in number 1 and number 2, that is a integer dot parse int number 1, b it is stored in integer dot parse int dot number 2. So this number 1, number 2 are text box we are getting, no, so that is converted as an integer and stored it in a and b, and it is divided c equal to a by b, that number is printed. Or if we gave it wrongly, if we give b as an 0, then it will give that error message, that so that is error.jsp, where it is called. See, in the directory itself, we specified error page equal to error.jsp. If any error happens, what is the error message you have given in that error.jsp, that will be displayed. So, what you have written, sorry, an exception occurred. So, if there is any mistakes in the JSP, then this error will be specified, displayed in that output. So, how we are calling this? By using the first line, we are calling. Okay, so that's only given two numbers we are given. Here number 2 is given as 0, so that's a error message is displayed. Okay, thank you students.